Hi everybody, this is Al Spath coming to you from Positive Poker Insiders. Today we got session number 2 with our streaming coaching apprentice. That would be Ryan, and he's out in Ohio, and he is Posse1972, and he's here at the table with me today in a single table tournament. It's a Turbo 6 Max on True Poker. Here's Posse1972, and I am one Radar 1. And for those of you that can't see the table right now, that's because I haven't clicked it on. I wanted to get past the ad. I understand that when I talk early in the beginning, you don't get to hear all the setup. So I hope you did today hear that setup. I will see if I can edit the scene and see if, no, for some reason the star won't show up. For some reason, I think I need to reload that. So I'm not going to have the star up by my name. It's just going to be one Radar 1 is me, and this is the instructor Posse, and I'm going to turn it over to him right now. So Ryan, it's all yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Al, what you might want to do on your OBS is find where your star picture is and just kind of move that up. There's a possibility that your overlay is above. So if you left click on it and just say move up or move up like that, you might get it so that star can then be shown.
Okay.
As Al said, we're sitting here, we're playing in a $10 10 Turbo 6 Max table, and we're going to talk a little bit throughout the day on strategy as well as I think that the way this will probably run today is a little bit of coaching back and forth from both Al and myself. Al's my student today, but in the same token, I'm a student to Al as part of this apprentice program. So I want to make sure that we kind of work together on this one. So what you guys have missed so far was the first hand that we played. There's only, I think, been one hand that's played. I had pocket tens. So I went ahead, being in the second to act position. I went ahead and raised 3 times the big blind. The big blind ended up calling. Flop was king, jack, rag, and I ended up making a half pot bet, and he ended up folding. That's how I got to be at 1550.
And I got to be at 1470 because I suck and I had to give up my 2 blinds. So everybody can see my cards. They cannot see Ryan's cards. We're in a game together, and I'm not going to call out my cards. We're going to play it as if he doesn't know anything. I don't know nothing. This hand, I'm going to fold it, and I'll tell you why after we see what Ryan does.
All right, in this hand, I've got 7-5 spades in a big blind. There was a raise to, double donk raise. So there's, it's $40 with 110 in the pot. This is an easy call for me, and hopefully I get lucky and hit something. With the flop being 10 of spades, I've got, 7-5 of spades, and then 8-4. I'm going to go ahead and just check here with a pair of fives. There's a very good chance I've got the best hand at this point of the tournament, but I'm not willing to risk any chips at this point early on in the tournament.
Why is that?
I'm a fan of keeping my chips whole. I want to keep them for the bigger blinds as the tournament goes on, and I rather really tighten up. Like in this situation, I'm folding to both of these guys. We could easily have an individual that hit the 10. There could be a club draw. I don't think we've got a straight draw based on pre-flop action, but I'm going to go ahead and lay down bottom pair here. And I have no data on any of these players at this table tournament-wise. So, this is the first time playing with them, which makes it, a little bit interesting here also. So not being results-oriented, there's a lot of hands that could beat my pair of fives right now after the river came. All right, go ahead, Al. What did you have there?
I have 8-7. And it wasn't $20 to me. It was $30 to me, and I felt that I was out of position and $30 with my cards, and I didn't know what you were going to do based on the double donk that you illustrated and showed everybody that what they would do, and I didn't know if you raised, if they were going to stick around, and I was going to get caught in a sandwich type situation, and it's going to cost me money. I don't really want to be in a hand that I'm out of position early in the tournament. I don't need to risk my chips.
Yeah, exactly. I played the exact same way.
Now I'm going to fold here.
All right. Now, I've got ace 10 off in a small blind. I'm folding this hand.
That's
I
good.
feel like, the $60 pre-flop raise, he probably has a better ace than I do.
Well, the things that I folded 4-6 on the button suited, and because we're playing six-handed, because the under the gun player made the raise like that, I gotta respect the raise, and I just don't want to get into a battle with him with my 4-6 and re-raise or something like that. In your particular case, um, you're out of position, you're facing a raise, and your ace 10 to any other ace that he's raising with is probably an underdog, and you're going to be having to act first on every round. So absolutely, that's the way to go. But there's so many people that will make that mistake. Just like last hand, I had the queen jack, and I just threw it in the muck. And if you're in early position, you need to throw them away. You need to just wait till you're first in on the button if you're going to play a hand that wide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have
You
your
know,
Flopzilla thing that you can show them or you can look at it and show where Queen Jack is offsuit?
yeah, let me open it up.
I'm gonna fold here. Actions to you in case you're not looking.
Yeah, I'm folding also at 9-3 of clubs.
And I had Jack 6.
Okay, and you were asking about what, Queen Jack off?
Yes, Queen Jack off.
That would, it's showing Queen Jack off is about 14.3% of the time. You would open with a hand like that. So I guess that's a legitimate open in a six max tournament.
Yeah, but it's not something I'm gonna do very often early in the tournament. Excuse me, folks, because people like to throw their chips around too often. They're too deep for the blinds. Although we're 5-minute blinds as a turbo, and we'll get up there pretty quick. I think early in the tournament, it's just too early to do those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at this point in the tournament, I don't think stealing blinds is really that effective overall. You have a higher risk of losing chips than stealing, unless you realize the table you're playing at, every single person is playing super tight. Then you could maybe say, all right, I have an opportunity to do this. Looking at the table early on, there's definitely a couple people that I've got a little bit of a radar on in regards to their play type. They've seen a lot of flops, so maybe there'll be somebody that we can target later whenever they're playing.
Okay, so you can't see my board right now because
No.
you're playing yours. I am picking out one individual at the tournament, and you tell me the guy that you were just talking about and see if I got it right.
Yes, I've got two. The main guy right now is Jay Honey Sound. He
Okay,
is he is definitely seeing a lot of flops.
okay. And who's second?
Um, EFFUCK.
Yeah, I had him as the one that was the one to uh, fear or the one to get into more pots more aggressively. I think this Joni Sound over here that you named, he sees a lot of flops, but I think he's more passive than he
Yes.
is aggressive. Now this guy, why God, why comes in for a raise over a raise. I'm folding, but what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm in the same situation. I have A7 off, and it's not worth making a call here because, as you were talking about earlier, being sandwiched, there's a good chance that there's going to be another re-raise, and I'm in with an inferior ace more than likely.
And I had ace 8, and I got rid of mine.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a raise and re-raise in front of you, if you don't have a mega hand, you better not get in there. And don't anybody out there try to tell me that 7-7's a mega hand or East Queen's a mega hand, because it's not. Not when you're facing a raise and a re-raise, even in a six-handed game. Now, if you're short stacked and it's later in the tournament, okay, I understand you may be trying to make a stand or something like that, but Not early in the tournament. You better have what you need to have.
Yeah, the only thing that I think that we have to be cautious of is it is a six max table. So, and blinds go fast. It's a turbo. So, you really have to pick your spots and make sure that you capitalize. Otherwise, you're going to be in a situation where you're losing money through the blinds.
This is very true. This is very, very true. And we'll see more of it as the blinds go up in two more levels. You'll see people like Johnny that'll be short stacked immediately and have to put all the chips in. And it'll force play. And those hands that we were throwing away early, like ace eight or even queen jack, we might be forced to play strongly because it becomes from early position, early in the tournament to middle of the tournament. And as the tournament progresses from early to middle to late, things change.
hmm You know, Based on my players to the left, I'm gonna just flat this with pocket threes. I anticipated PVKM would fold there, and I felt like with a very very small pocket pair on the button, if I would raise that, I definitely could see the big blind re-raising me because of the aggression that he showed so far. In this spot, I'm gonna take one stab at a half pot bet and just kind of feel out where the big blind was. I figured the king had to be a good bluff catcher for me in regards to that board with me there in the position.
The only thing, and I know you just started reading Jonathan Little's small stakes cash hold'em game, but that's more of cash game. In a tournament, and you started doing a little bit more of the half pot bet. In a tournament, because this is still early, that bet of 63, if I was over there as him, if I had pocket twos, if I had a different pair, I'm going to stay for that amount of money because of what's in the pot already. So I don't think it's enough to push somebody else out. Also, it's not going to push out a gut shot. There was I think, was it a 3-4, no, a 4-5 on the board or something like that?
King maybe 4-5.
Okay, so somebody had 7-8, and they were in the blind. It wasn't on raised. It was on raised pot, and they only needed a 6 for a draw to the nuts. I'm going to pay 60. I'm going to pay the 63. I might not pay 83, which is almost 10%. You know what I mean? So I think that a little nudge on that bet would have been a little bit better to get out those long shots. I mean, if you were way ahead or something, you want that long shot in, but you don't even know where you're at with pocket threes other than you're at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So I just look at it as, what possible hands in an unraised pot could they have that do I want to give them any incentive to stick around, and not with pocket threes. I want it over. And like you said once to me, it's only 25 or 30 chips, and it's not gonna, you don't need to, you'll find out the same information. Well, you might not find out in the tournament setting rather than the cash game. You might not find out exactly what you need to do, and you might need that little extra nudge. It's just a thought that I have on it, but other people can surely disagree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you got? What do you have here?
8-6, and I can't defend to that. Now I'm looking at putting in 50 for 250, 5-1, but I'm out of position. They're not suited. I'm folding.
Mm-hmm.
If I stayed and the first guy checked, I would bet into this pot, hoping that why does not have a jack. I would try to take this down with about $180 bet, somewhere in that range. And see, that's a bad bet there. That's almost like I don't know where I'm at. I need to just put a little money in and see if I can nudge the guy out. To me, and this guy Johnny State calls everything.
Mm-hmm.
So this bet normally should be in the 300 area, and he's going to go really 250 because he's really not betting very high.
Right, he's not showing any strength in that. He's just
No.
playing. It looks like he's just playing the button here.
He's managing the pot, and if Johnny would push there, I think the guy would fold almost.
Mm-hmm.
Last night I played a 9-player tournament, and I hope everybody gets a chance up on YouTube to watch that event. But it plays a lot different in the fact that we're playing 9-handed and we're playing 10-minute rounds. So you've got plenty of time with the same amount of starting chips to just stay in there and just wait for your spots. And you should be able to go deep, if not get into the money in those events most of the time. If you play smart and you capitalize on your position and watch, let other people knock people out. No, Ryan was awful quiet. I know he was listening to me, but it sounds like he's got a big hand like ace king or ace queen. What do you have here?
I have ace-7 spades. It's not a very good hand here, but I know that PVKM is playing super, super nitty. And I feel like Johnny Sound will make a call, but he has not been defending very well post-flop. I don't think his post-flop play is the best.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and take a stab at this for 300, a little bit higher than what I was doing earlier when I hit the 7. And you know, he could easily come back and say that's a huge raise. I'm gonna come over the top, and with that call, makes me feel like he hit maybe the queen on this hand, or maybe he's got a over pair. So I'm gonna go ahead and check, even though that 7 or that king is a very good hand to try to come back and bluff at here. And
Before you
got
do
caught.
anything, what do you think he has?
I believe he's got a well, it's going to be a range of hands. You could either have like ace queen, king queen, queen jack. He could have a pocket pair, tens or up. I could see.
Okay. I think that he limped, called, and then stuck around when that Queen 9-7 came. I put him on Jack 10, which is a very common hand for people to limp with. That would have given an open end, and that King would have gave him the nuts, and then he put all his money in the pot. That's a scenario that would work there, but I'm not positive that's what he had. But as you said, he plays a lot of hands, and Jack 10 is the most common for people to play.
Yeah, that I would have liked to have been able to see what he had there. Certainly would be nice to get some information.
Oh, I would have loved it. And you would have got knocked out. It would have made it a lot easier for me.
So the play style right now for me being short stacked is going to completely change compared to what it was earlier. I'm going to sit back and wait for my opportunities, and I'm in a shove situation. You know, I've got less than 10 big blinds, so, you know, I'm trying to make my stack more valuable than what it is. And, you know, in a 6 max, you know, a lot of these individual players aren't going to want to call $1,000 to see a hand.
Well, there's another aspect to that. Not only are you short stacked, but if you look at the two guys to your right and left, that's 1,300. We've only got 13 big blinds. It's not like we're in great shape either. And we're going to have blinds go through us for $150 right now. And so we're going to get down right where you are. So with this turbo, as I mentioned earlier, once you go up a few rounds, it's shove time. And here he goes. Here's a good example.
Yeah.
PVK. And you should be aware of it, just like you mentioned and I mentioned, that as stacks get down, they're going to have to make a stand with different types of hands that you wouldn't play early, but you have to play now because you may not have time to get your money in the pot. And there's a classic pair.
I felt like he had a pretty good hand because that's the first hand that PVM played.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the situation. The guy played super tight throughout this tournament. He received a good starting hand in a 6 max tournament, shoved his stack, so he played one hand out of 19 hands played so far and ended up losing.
I gave you a note earlier today about how pairs change early, middle, at the end of a tournament. Do you remember that note I gave you?
I'm looking right now.
Now, he put 100 in a 200 part. I think he's got an 8 here or a deuce. And I want him out right now. I've got Queen 9. I don't want him fishing for those clubs there.
Right. No, I'm not sure. Big pairs.
Well, what I was mentioning earlier, this might jog your memory, but what I was mentioning earlier is early in the tournament, you can play small pairs and medium pairs, and you can get away with it, and you can set mine a little bit. It's harder in a turbo, of course, but then in the middle of the tournament, the small and medium pairs don't mean as much. You got anything here?
I have middle pair.
I think he had the queen.
Yeah, I had all in checked. I was gonna shove, but I felt like that wasn't a good spot to do that.
Yeah. Anyhow, then towards the middle of the tournament, those small pairs get beat up on too much. And then towards the end, when you're getting short again, then you start playing just like 5-5 did that time. And it usually gets called by overpairs, and there's a overcards, and there's usually a run out, and the pairs usually hold up. So just remember, there's three different stages to a tournament: the beginning, the middle, and the end. And cards that you can play in one particular section, you can't play in the other sections.
Yeah, isn't whenever you're looking at a six max table, if your heads up with overs versus a small pocket pair, isn't that about 48, 47 to 43, 44, something like that? Or 50, it's almost 50-50 stat wise.
Let's do it this way. Pocket twos against ace king is pocket twos are ahead just under 52% to 48%. So it's like 51.7 to 48.3. But the pairs never have to improve to win. That's why they're always the favorite. A pair does not have to improve to win when overcards do.
All right, I've got king queen off on the button, so this is a shove for me.
All right. Well, let's hope you get a queen, because I folded one of your posse hands. Come on, Johnny. Now, Johnny, if he has an ace-3,
yes,
would be a 58-42 favorite. Now he's an underdog. He's only got jacks that can help him. And he can't get any help from that.
See, in my opinion, that's a horrible call by him.
Yeah, it is. There's no reason for him to put his money in second. First, those cards can be played when he's short stack, but not second.
Was that ended up being a split pot?
Yes, it was a pair and an ace on the board, and you both had a queen. Split it. You didn't get his money.
Oh, that was horrible. All right, I'm going to try for his money again. I've got ace queen this time.
I was just going to say ace jack because I figured you had a better hand this time than you had the last time, and hopefully he'll come at you. Me, I'm stuck on 1500. That's where I started.
That's not a bad spot to be?
No, it's not a bad spot to be right now. It can change in one hand.
That's exactly right.
As those of what you watched last night's video of me, you'll see it. And this is a king 7 fold to that push there with either a pair or big cards. It probably had a big ace. So in a matter of two hands, I went from 1500 down to 1275. That's how quickly things can change. And I am a short stack. I got one play and one play only. Is that's push or fold. I can't do anything else.
I think that might have been an interesting play there by you. You might have been able to get some value if you shoved your small blind against me in a big blind.
I thought about it because there was two reasons I thought about doing it. One, you just built yourself up over 1,000. You know you got another round around the table. And two, you're on video and you don't like to get knocked out early either.
Yeah, no, I feel like from the small blind, that's the spot. Like right now I've got 6-2 of hearts. And I feel like against the player that I'm going against here, he's only seen the flop 16% of the time. Well, so this is a steal opportunity.
Yeah. Also, it's easier to steal against somebody in middle chip stack size in a comfortable position where they don't have to play than it is to steal against somebody that has low chips or big chips. because they usually either fight back or donk it all in there. So against you, you had small chips, and there was a possibility you could take the race with me. But against your opponent, EFF up there, he had to have a hand because he's not going to lose his $1,900 advantage being at the table, being in second place.
Yep, absolutely. Now, I don't think that's a play that, I can consistently do against him because he'll pick up on that. But it's definitely a play that, I might be able to pull off every couple rounds on him.
Right. Just like anybody else will get tired of it and
yeah, yep, and then they'll start defending maybe a little bit wider when they realize that maybe this guy is shoving with nothing.
What did you fold here?
I folded 4-10 of hearts.
And I folded 8-5, as I should.
Yep. It's easy to be results oriented here when you look at that board saying, oh, I got 2 people in, I could easily get some money from them. Yeah, see, now this is one of those hands that if I was in, I could be in big trouble. I have a set of 4s or trip 4s, and you got the flush that got there. You could easily.
Well, here's the problem with that board when the 4 comes. If someone has a queen, like I had 8-5, I got 8s and 5s. But if somebody had the queen and only had the 1 pair, then they get 2 pairs there all of a sudden with the queens. So they have queens up, I have 8s up, and I lose.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 10-8 diamonds here. The blinds are rolling through, and I need to get some blind money. Now, if Why God calls me, he's way ahead of me but I haven't played any hands. But Johnny's short, and see, this is that same situation. It's tougher to steal from a shorty than it is from somebody that had big chips.
Yeah.
Because he might want to make a stand there. So I was lucky that he didn't have it, but I figured my cards were live if he did come at me. That was the only thing I had in my, bag of tricks.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Seeing Johnny Sound call me all in earlier with Queen Jack, but yet he's laying down a hand to you when it was what five times his chips is what he had in the pot.
How many times have I played a hand?
That's you've put your money in once.
See, he realizes that. I think he'll bet it here. No, he don't. I got 4-5, so we need a 3 or a 5, or no, a 3 or a 4. On this card right here. 5 is no good. I win. Sometimes you gotta call it.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have a read somehow and hope for the best. No sense of me betting on the end. I'm not going to get paid off. I'm only going to get beat. So there's no sense of me putting money in the pot.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Woo! He likes to put it all and put the pressure on. I'm folding, so I'm going to give you a little time to tell about your hand, but I am folding.
Yeah, I've got a hand that I can't play either. I'm sitting with 10-4. There's no need to even attempt to try to defend that for the 200 that I've got in there.
I am folding.
All right. See, now I'm in a situation where if I get nobody calling this hand, I'm shoving. I've got King 10 of spades, which is a pretty playable hand from this spot. Now, the only spot where, he might sit back and say, wait a second, he did this to me last time also. He might call with a little bit of a wider range, but yet he didn't.
Yeah, if he woke up, if he had an ace or something there, he might have fought back at. But, you're also betting the fact that he's got 2 random cards, and most of the time with 2 random cards, they're just going to fold.
That's exactly right. I folded Jack 3 of diamonds there. There's no need for me to try to go up against, try to steal Why God Why's blinds when he's got so much money.
This is where I always tell people the game begins. 100, 200.
I'm all in again with pocket jacks. I was thinking about trying to make
That was a quick call, so he's got probably ace queen or ace king here or a pocket pair. Let's see how the read goes here. Now, if this guy comes in, that's trouble.
Yeah, I'm putting him on a pocket pair also.
Johnny's coming in too. He's got 200.
Well, he should. He's a fool not to at this point.
He's got equity to do it, and he's stupid.
Any two cards, he's got to make that call.
Oh, whoa, whoa,
Beautiful.
whoa, whoa. No 10, no 10. No 10, no chops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt that he had ace king or ace queen on that hand, and that's what I called out. And he was just again. I pointed out to you yesterday in a cash game that I believe about the speed of a bet. Sometimes there was an indication to me that's a tell. When somebody just gets it in there that fast after a raise, then I put them on a better quality hand.
Yep.
When they kind of go in the tank a little while, I think it's kind of see now I only have to put 245 in. I'm not going to let Johnny walk over me here. I've got a queen and an 8. I'm hoping that both cards are live. Now
Yes.
it's 8 against 6, so I'm in good shape.
Yeah, and you hit that's exactly right. In that situation, any two cards you have to call.
Right. And who cares if he had, other things, that's the way it goes. There comes another all in.
Hopefully you have two live cards.
That's right.
In that situation, you didn't have two live cards, but you had him dominated with the hand that you had.
The one card was dominant, right? He could have hit a 6 and beat me, but that means he only had 3 6s in the deck to get me.
Yes. Now, this is, again, one of those situations that I just talked about with you. I have to call. I've got 2 3. I mean, I've got horrible cards.
Yeah.
And, he's got me dominated.
That's why it's going to be a chop. Oh, he hit the 4.
Yeah. In that case, you have to make the call there.
Yeah. Oh, it could have been a chop with all big ones. With 2 low cards like that, you think chop right away. That's all right. He's going to be all in here again. He's going to have to survive 4 or 5 all-ins. He's very low. Hi, Sharon. Good morning.
All right. I've got pocket kings.
Yeah. You want him to push on you here, but he might detect
yes.
that 600 is a strong bet here.
Yeah, now that I've got more chips, my play style is a little different. I don't need to be shoving all the time.
This is true.
So what do you got now?
This hand, I'm calling with ace-9 unless Y-God pushes.
Yeah, well, Y-God would be a fool to push here. Now.
He limped. I mean, he just called Y-God. I'll take him on. I figure his range is really wide here.
I guess I play that differently.
Why do I want to see a flop like that?
Yeah,
He didn't have an ace, Y-God. I knew he was limping in with some kind of a pair, and if I don't hit those aces like I just did, I'm in serious shape. I want to get him out. I got his 210. I get the other guy out of the game. My hand is not tremendous. I don't have any problem doing that.
See, my style there is a little different. I prefer to just call, and hopefully one of you two then can take him out of the tournament. I'm not looking at it as saying I want to steal these chips. I look at it there to say I want to get a person out of the tournament.
I agree with you in one respect. If it's in a tournament and the guy has, let's say, 2,000 chips or something, and you got him dominated, and you can do something like that and check that. But we're talking about 200 chips here. I'm not worried about him staying in the tournament with only 400. If he wins a pot with 400 chips or anything like that, it's not a concern of mine. He's going to go anyhow. I don't need to be the sheriff and make, I wanted to get the money from Y-God. I wanted him to come back at me and get the matchup with him.
Yeah, okay. Now, this part of the tournament, things change quite a bit. And that's when Annie start getting involved. When you've got an additional, $75 in the pot, it definitely changes the way the pot odds are going to work here.
Now, that's the first time he's gone like that. And that concerns me. But I'm still going all in here and hoping that I can get him to fold it and I can get the 400 from him.
Yeah, when I look at this hand, I was calling the 200 because I felt the same way that you did.
Do you have 10-9?
No, I've got 7-8.
I have ace-jack. And he's taking, the longer he takes, the more I think I'm ahead.
Yeah, he's doing that to steal. He's on the button. He's got a decent amount of chips. He looks at you as you've been playing like a rock. I've got, I'm playing very similar to his style in regards to numbers. So he's saying this is an opportunity where I can steal. I'm expecting to see him do that quite a bit.
And I don't think you're going to see too much more if he runs into a buzzsaw. We'll see. Let's see if he goes up to 400 here. I have 7-9 suited. I'll call 200. I call maybe. Yeah, I'll call 200 in a heartbeat. So I got the 9. I don't know if he's got the ace or not. I got 3 spades.
He's going to see that. Yep.
I don't like his C bet size there, but he might have the ace. I'm going to try to run him off the table.
Yep. That's a perfect play. I was just going to say, in that situation, I'm a stubborn player. I don't believe him there at all.
Mm-hmm.
And with your image at the table, you're going to get away with that against him sooner than I would.
Well, I'm glad you brought up image, because that was the whole point that I was making early on, that when you're coaching somebody or when somebody's listening to a coach, they play the game backwards. They're very active early and they're splashing around, losing chips. When you play a little tighter early on, people notice it, and then when you do play, you get to influence their betting.
Yep.
If they're watching.
I've got a small ace, but based on his last actions, 400 he comes in at quite often, so I'm just going to take a stab at it that he's just trying to steal.
Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on right here. He just went from chip leader to last place, and he's just splashing around.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I've got king deuce, so I've got with pot odds are 21% here, and I've got 43% to go ahead and win. So that is a situation where you're supposed to call because your win odds are higher than your pot odds. Now, where I'm in trouble is if he would have shoved there.
I think that's the only thing I would have thought about. His stack size now, he might be in shove mode, so be careful.
Yeah, I should have raised in that situation. See, because now I'm going to show weakness with a check here to him. I guess he probably doesn't have an ace or a queen, because if he did, he should have raised beforehand. And then, my check to him, if he's putting me on a range, he's got to say that, I've hit nothing here. Otherwise, I would have raised. I think my two's good.
I think your two's way ahead, yeah, but that's up to you to decide what to do. Now, if he shoves?
Yeah, if he shoves, I leave.
He called.
So that call means to me that he either hit the 5, maybe he hit the 2, could have the flush draw, because whenever I checked to him on the flop, he did not react. He didn't do anything. And he could be trying to set up to bluff here with an all-in.
What if he had a hand like King 3 suited, not in clubs?
I don't think he played it like that. I'm calling him. I don't believe him. You were right. I don't understand that check on the flop whenever he has second pair there. In my opinion, in a tournament, you're losing value by not betting that.
6-7 is an easy fold here for me. Mm-hmm. No, I just see him making the straight there at the end, with a suited card. I thought the king, maybe I didn't even think about the queen, but yeah, the queen is another one that he would do that with. And then all of a sudden he gets jiggy there with this all-in bet, and I got to do the same thing.
Well, yeah, and I can't defend. I have 4-6 off. And it's my pot odds are way higher than my win odds, so it's a losing situation if I make this call. So it's a fold.
And I have king jack.
Yeah, I had live cards, but I'm dominated.
This is true.
I've got Jack 8 off. I'm going to go ahead and fold. I thought about shoving there.
Mm-hmm.
It could have easily been a shove hand.
I would have shoved only because he just got to 3,000, and if you shove 2,000 under, he knows he only got $1,000 left, and I think you could have got him to fold some moderate hands. In other words, you're going to get him to fold all bad hands, but I think
Yep.
you could have got him to fold hands that are better than yours, but not good hands.
Yeah.
That's my only reasoning on there. I got Queen King here. He shoves, I fold. He raises the 600, I call. I do not come back over the top of him. That's a bullshit bet there. That's I got. That's I got something. I'm gonna get the timer go down and act like I'm trying to steal when in fact I really have something. That was dumb. I'm folding no matter what.
Now, see, I'm in a little bit of a different situation based on what he does. I've got King three clubs with 300 in the pot.
Mm-hmm. And how much behind. Always look how much you have behind. That's an important factor too. Not what's out in front, but what's behind.
Yeah, I had 1,500 back.
That's
So
right.
I've got, with 300 in, I'm not even going to attempt to steal. I have 2-5, so I'm going to limp or fold to him here. And, my thinking is that's 2 rounds of folding to this guy like that. It'll make a hand a little bit more creditable when I do decide to shove against him.
Nope, not that time, huh?
No, I
Then
can't.
again, I got 8-7. I can't defend. I think he might have ace 10, ace 9 there. He did it pretty quick, and he wanted to put the pressure on me quick, but I don't think it was one of those stellar hands like he did the last time where he let it count down and then he did it.
Yeah. No, I think that I had pocket queens there. I was hoping I'd get a call or a shove out of you.
I had jack too. I'm not going to try something there.
Yeah. Now, in this situation, I made fun of a person earlier for playing queen jack suited, but they called. And in this spot, I'm shoving with this hand against him. This is a bad sign because he's thinking a little
What
bit.
did you put shove with?
Queen jack spades.
I folded queen 10, and I indicated to everybody with my cursor that I wanted you and him to battle on that hand.
Ah, okay. um,
I have ace 8, and I'm taking him on for a change.
I was
I
I
took
was
him
thinking
on
about
this
shoving.
time, and he's got good live cards. He's
Yeah.
still got good live cards. He still has good live cards, and this doesn't have good live cards anymore.
Nope, very nice.
He just did it too many times, and
Yes.
based on his tell about waiting and shoving with good cards and then shoving when he didn't have, I just felt that I was ahead in that hand, and I wanted to take that race when I was ahead, and I did. Now this is a fold for me, so I'm going to fold, but what are you thinking about doing?
See, now this is one of those situations where I'm gonna fold. I've got 9-2 off.
Yeah.
He's gonna shove with any 2 cards, and it's only gonna cost me another $700, but that leaves me with 1,300. That's not, in my opinion, that's not enough to be successful at this table.
In my case, I had King 5, which is dominant probably to everything he has, but I don't know what you're going to do. And I
Yes.
don't want to double him up at this stage. Make him double up with something else, not off of my back.
Yeah, you've got the big stack, so you can play a little bit differently now. You actually can ride out the bubble here and get by one. Let one of us do it because we're both going to be shoving pretty wide ranges. Or you can take the aggressor in this situation and start bullying us a little bit with your chip stack.
So here I have a King 5, and again, I think it's probably close to 50-50, but if he has a pair, I'm really an underdog. So I don't give him anything more than the blind there. He gets my $400. I just can't. If I was King Jack, King 10 there, I'd probably take him on.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't with that wide a range, and same thing here with you. I can't do it with even a Queen 6. Even though I probably am ahead of you, I don't need to double you to 4,000 on a hand that I don't even like.
Yeah, you were ahead of me. I had Queen 3, but my thought process was if you're going to make a call, I'm coming over the top of you. Because I think that in that situation, when you've got chips, a call there shows weakness.
Yeah, Noodle Noodle says, why didn't I raise with my Queen 10 in that one hand that I folded? I got queen 3 here. I'm going to let it go again. That on that one hand, you had queen
Yes,
jack.
queen jack.
And I told him, I said, because you and the other guy were still yet to go, and I'm sitting there with queen 10. I don't want to. I don't want to waste my chips on something like that.
Yeah.
See, now that was the hand I would mind a limp with, but you're poised there with 14, 1600. You're going to shove. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just a waste of my money.
Yeah, absolutely. I had 9-6 spades. I've got more than likely 2 live cards against you, so that's a shove.
Right. Ace 4.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a different size bet you threw at him. Now he's putting the pressure back on you.
Yeah, he really did. And I put a good bet in there saying that I was pretty strong, and he still came over the top, so I got a feeling he's ahead of me, and I'm going to give it to him. If I would have put all my chips in, that would have been a different situation, maybe, but I didn't do it that way. I chose to do it a different way because you were between us.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're going to do.
I wish we could get Why God Why on here with us to kind of talk through his hands, because he's definitely shown some very aggressive play, and it's been very successful against you and I at this point. Oh, I hate this situation. I've got my favorite hand.
Yeah, you're way ahead of him.
And he's shoving. I have to call.
Sure, you got 400 in. You're
based on my stack size.
Well, he's got an ace, so he's ahead. But you got live. He hit the 2. You hit the 9.
Nice.
That's all you need.
Yeah. I have to call there based on.
I would have won that. I had 8-2. I would have hit 2 pair. So he's coming again. He comes, then and he beats me. I'm down to 1,000. So I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, I've got 6-3, so I'm gonna fold because any 2 cards he shoved.
I had pocket deuces then. I just didn't want to. The way he's playing everything. I just want to give him a chance to lose this rather than me give him a chance to win it.
Wow. See, I look at pocket deuces with 3 people as a fairly strong hand.
Yeah, I know, but at this particular stage, with him doing what he's doing, I didn't feel like it was worth it to me.
Okay.
It could have been a mistake. It absolutely could have been a mistake, but I also could have got myself thrashed and on the rail, and everybody might have said, "Oh, what did you do that for? You didn't have to." Ugh. I got nothing. I'm going to buy you time. I'm folding.
Yeah, I've got 5-9 of clubs. I don't believe I can call here in this situation. So I am folding.
I had 3-7.
Yeah, if those 2 cards were a little bit more connected, I would have called him. Because his range is very wide. He's shoving with almost any 2 cards against us.
Let him shove now. I got ace-8 suited. He don't like being second in. Takes away his tools.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah, you'd much rather be the pusher than the caller.
Yeah, he wins a lot of hands just by putting the pressure, and that's okay. That's his style of play. Here he comes. Oh, he's way ahead.
Wow.
He took all this time in the world for that. I need an 8.
Oh, you hit it.
Now he'll go off in the chat. Watch. He'll go off in the chat. You frickin' idiot. I was first, but I'm the frickin' idiot. Watch. Well, he's going to be all in here.
Yeah. Yeah,
I got queen 5 to put him out of his misery. Maybe. Yeah. Queen
nice.
Goodbye, why guy, why?
Yep.
Thanks for your time.
Now the coaching changes a little bit.
King Jack.
King 8.
I would have folded King 8 there too. I got you on Queen 9. Don't tell me what you got, but I got you on Queen 9. That should hit you right in the face then. But it hit me better.
Oh, it did. I had ace queen. No.
And the student says thank you.
Very nice.
Hey, that went really well. I hope everybody that's watching this at home or on YouTube enjoyed that very much. We'll be talking to you soon, and we'll have session 3 next week sometime. Look for Ryan Posse1972 and check us out on YouTube. If you need an overlay, Posse1972 Ryan can help you out on that. We really appreciate you tuning in, and tell some friends to follow us at Positive Poker Insiders, and of course up on YouTube under Al Spath. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you, Ryan. It was a great session.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Is there anything? Oh, I should ask. Is there anything else that you wanted to put out there?
No, I don't think so. I think that when you sit down playing heads up like that, and in that situation, you've got a king. A king is a very strong hand, so I think that's an easy call in my opinion on there, especially if you put me on queen nine in that situation. So I felt like you played the hand exactly the way I would heads up. When you're heads up, you only had to beat the guy across from you or the lady across from you. Therefore, a king is a very strong hand.
And I only got, only had one of your cards right. I did say you did have a queen, didn't I?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had a super strong hand, but
Oh.
that goes back to showing you have 2 live cards. Anything can happen.
If you'd have made it an all-in, I would have folded, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But you
in the
want
same-
action. You want action with that.
That's exactly right. That's what I was going to say. With ace queen suited, you want action heads up. You want to set it up so that something like that happens.
Yeah, I'm looking at my scene over at the OBS, and we need to change the logo on it. I got the old logo on it, and so I got to change the scene when we're done here. But anyhow, thank you, everybody, and we'll talk to you really soon. Hope you watch both of the videos, mine from last night and then this one this morning with Ryan and myself, and we enjoyed it. Thank you so much.